Alright, so boom. Look, you just make a video right there. But look, fuck. Alright, so alias Delta Code. I was making a video and found this shit. But look, this symbol right here. You see this symbol right here? No, not that symbol. The symbol beside it. I can't remember what that shit's called. But I think it stands for Epsilon. Some cough. It stands for Delta. And what is Delta? A change in variable, meaning change in state or change in cell, meaning cell going from original state to neuromelanated state. Because delta means denoting new energy cycle, right? The difference between that and D is also clear in the distinct and differentials calculus. We know that dy dx is always an operator and not a fraction, where that y, that, and x is an exponential change, because this stands for the atom, right? This stands for the DNA. How it's like a S that's almost an 8 is because the strand of the DNA is detached. Once it goes into an 8, now that's like two suns coming together to make a time loop that looks like the DNA, right? Because if you look at an 8, it's like a racetrack. But what does a racetrack do? It makes a loop, right? As long as you keep going straight, you're gonna come back to where you once were. So that being said, this symbol represents the atom. That's why they said the difference between this symbol and D is also clear. Is also clear and distinct in differentials. We also, yeah, you see all that shit right there. So the symbol is the atom. The D, which represents the triangle, is for the light, and the X and Y is dealing with heterogenes, and the XX is dealing with the homogenes. Right. So again, delta is the fourth letter of the Greek alphabet, which comes after gamma, C, right? Uh, that's why C's are really G's. In the system of the Greek numeral has a value of 4, right? Representing the 4 elements and the 4 alternates. It's 4 states of the sun. That's why the sun is just like Earth. It's a star. It's a planet. And it's also a portal. It has portals all through it. Just like this planet does, right? But the sun and the other stars and planets is using its energy plus Nibiru to, well, I'm not about to say that, is using its energy plus Sirius to get this planet back on its star-like things, because in reality, them draining the energy was dimming the planet. Alright, So, or dimming the light of the planet, and that can't happen because it's just like your amino acid is fighting back, right? So, the river delta is also named because of the shape like a triangular uppercase letter delta, right? So that goes for your volcanoes, your seas, like the Bermuda has that cycle, but anytime the sea has the cycle is the same above or the opposite. It's going to be like, say, one has a 6, then that means the air is going to have a 9. Feel me? And then below that is going to move like an M. So, like, or like a wave, right? That's where the waves come from. So, look, because you're dealing with frequencies, but triangular like shapes is like the East Coast or the coastlines, because those are most likely close to deltas, like the Bermuda, the land of Mu, or the land of Ma, Lamora, shit like that. That all ties down New Land, dealing with that area. It all ties down to Alman, which ties down to the tree of life. These energies that's hidden, right? Because it's still two parallels of Kai, just like it's two parallels of you. It's Kai has a spirit too, or Earth has a spirit too, spirit and soul. So when you look at it like that, it kind of brings more clarity. But look, Elias, right? What does Elias mean? Elia means from Hebrew Aliyah, or Eliyahu. My name meaning my God is Yahweh, with Yahweh being the ancient Hebrew name for God. Elias is a variant of Elijah, which means Lord is my God. Elijah is a prophet in the Bible who was charged with the responsibility of leading the Israelites back to the worship of one God. Elias is also mentioned in the other holy books belonging to the other religions like the Quran. So what does Elias mean in the Quran? Because why would scientists be naming it like that? Alright. Elias is a variant of the name Elijah, which means Lord is my God. Elijah is a prophet. Boom, 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 boom. So Elijah Elijah, light, cold. called light code. Each series of letters form a code sequence which links consciousness to higher dimensional energetic which are downloaded into the chakras and soul. So that ties into the God gene. So if that ties into the God gene, then back to this motherfucker who was researching this shit with drugs and devices, which low key gives everyone immunity who got locked up for dealing with drugs and shit that ties into the same thing. Now that I think about it, because all of this started from looking up the word Dior, and I don't have that documented, but it ended up going to the Class Act investigation in the 1970s. And weed wasn't legal nowhere at that time. It was just a recreational use illegally because niggas didn't give a fuck. He was like, oh, it's a plant, let's smoke it. But the thing is, the government got that shit on the street to test. Because the thing that I said about weed that no one is saying, other than it comes from Canis Major, is it works like the sun. It's only to reproduce your cells. Reason why they're trying to use it for cancer and shit like that, because it can fight off cancer. But the only way it can fight cancer is if your physical body is in the alkaline stage or your God particle, which is attached to your soul, attached to your spirit, and or try to dig into the ground, because like dogs supposed to eat what they're supposed to eat, not spiritual animals, because they're ground and help your blood and your stress levels go down, because now you're tuning back into the frequency. So like, I think I picked the wrong video. I just made a video and got somebody's name. Feel me? That's why I'm trying to look this shit up real quick. Just throwing me off. I need that name. Because he was the one that started up the search for the Elias Delta Code. Knowing that Elias dealt with a prophet, and that was dealing with Elijah and mostly Enoch. But I'm gonna say Enoch, even though they put Elijah. I'm gonna say Enoch, because Enoch actually spoke against, and that's the shit I'm doing. I'm speaking against the wrongdoings, and woes to the ones who ain't listen. But yeah, okay. Oh yeah, it went from C programming. A fragment of Alpha AI, Alpha Iota, 1 through 9, 7, which is Zane, or Zeta, which is a fragment of Alpha and that because that will also equal 17, right? Which ties back to what? The 17th letter of the alphabet. Serve as a territory antagonist in the Blood Gulch Chronicles. Agent Wyoming. What the hell is all this extra shit? Yeah, so alright, so there's a type of technology, right? The Unix code, which ties to Omicron and Xenobot. Omi means AN, which is Omicron at 70. 70, 7 plus 0 equals 7. So then that goes back to Zayn. Zayn is aligned with Zetia or Zeta. Zetia has medical terms meaning a zeta bay or lipoprotein transfer. The Xenobot is the smallest thing a lipotransfer can actually use with their needle. So that being said, that is the zeta that's aligned to, that is the Zayn that's aligned to a micron in zeta energy. And yeah, zeta, which in Hebrew is Zayn, and Zayn is weapon. So Omicron, when they were saying Omicron, and dealing with medical terms, they was talking about the weapon being used. Alright, so yeah, because when Omicron lined up with, so yeah, I got to gamma programming because they got something called C programming, which is the cron, but C stands for gamma, right? Then they got the Unix, Plan 9, Inferno, all that shit. Plan 9, Cloud 9, um, um, happen is the CMEs, bro. So like, say how you was in good energy while the CMEs hitting, your creativity is flowing much through. And you in the bad vibe, or someone else is in the bad vibe, and the CMEs hit them, they're in that. It's like if you're off jiggers or drunk, you're in that mood. When the CME hits, it intensifies. Y'all been getting like fucking hella CMEs hit South America, yo. Like, like high energy, like high energy, which deals with your creativity. But yeah, um, yeah, um, please be careful. But anyways, fuck, yeah, those were the crown job. Those with the Xenobot. Boom, boom, boom. I'm gonna pick up in this video here. Damn it, find that name. Bro, why does this keep popping up?